Welcome, Palak. It's such an honor to have you here. I'm so excited. And before we get started with our conversation, we're going to have, I think it's going to be a meaningful conversation and it's going to help a lot of our listeners and, audience. So, just a very brief outline of Palak before we get started. Palak worked with me a few years ago for a while. She was dealing with some health issues at that time, and together we found ways for her to support her body's healing process. We went into the roots, and we'll discuss a few things, depending on how much time we have. And yeah, and then she was fully committed to that journey, healing journey. I always call it a journey. And she found ways to stay strong. And as they say, the rest is history. Today, she is herself a functional medicine certified health coach. It's amazing, Palak. And we'll talk a bit about that, of course. And she's married and she's the mother of a 2.5-year-old son. So welcome, Palak. Welcome to this conversation.
Thank you, Ananta.
So I think let's go back to the beginning and then, of course, we'll just take it from there. When you think back before you embarked on this journey, and as I said, I always call healing a journey, how would you describe that season in one sentence? Whatever comes to your mind.
Mm, so it was like autumn when things started falling apart, and winter when the things started becoming darker. And it actually happened during that time only. So, and in the spring when I joined your program and life started blossoming again. It actually happened during those seasons only. So,
Wow. So that's such a beautiful way of putting it. I love your answer. And yeah, it's so apt. I mean, I actually don't remember whether it was winter, but you will remember. But
mm,
yeah, so it's apt, and I love your answers. Anything else? Sorry. Bef-
yeah, that's it, I guess.
Oh,
So,
so that was the season. Okay.
yeah.
And if you can think back to how were you feeling physically and emotionally while, because I know you had mentioned when we started working together that you were looking for answers, like many of my clients do. So what were you feeling physically and emotionally at that time when you were looking for answers?
Uh, it was same both physically and emotionally. Like, why me? So I think everyone would have that question. So why me? Why did this happen to me? Did I do something wrong? Or have like sometimes this also comes, have I hurt someone? Because of that I'm getting this. So and what would happen if things wouldn't get better? Do I have to deal with this thing my whole life and I have to live like this? Or and like will I be able to get married, have children, and do something in my career? Because uh, it was that bad. So all these questions were coming, and physically and emotionally every time this kept on going in my mind when I didn't get the answer. When I got the answer, I know that what was the reason of it, but till then, like every time this kept going on in my mind.
So it was replaying in your mind as to why
Yeah.
me, and then what happens. I mean, which is the case with I, any person with any kind of chronic health issues. I mean, it's of course not just you or me, so it's anyone. And I think what you just said is so correct because the people are looking for answers, and very often they don't get those answers. As if
Yeah.
why did it happen to them, and they sort of remain stuck. So, what
Mm.
made those years difficult for you? Like anything that you can sort of say that maybe if these things had been in place, it would have not been this difficult. So what anything that comes to your mind again?
So, one thing which I feel is that that time no one believed that what I was doing, or uh, like whatever food changes I was doing in my diet. So no one believed that this is correct one, because it was not normal. No one knew that, yeah, this also could happen after I did the changes. So everyone, when I, like my family talked to other people, so they know, yeah, this is also the thing. So it was that no one believed in me. That made things more difficult.
And yeah, absolutely. And because anyone who gets onto this a journey like this, food is medicine, right? And now you're a coach, so we can talk a bit about your coaching
Mm,
journey also that you've started on. But yes, food is medicine, but most of us don't know about this. And even if we know, a family may not believe in this, or it's only when the results come that people start believing in you. And I can completely appreciate what you're saying, because when I started my daughter on, say, gluten-free diet and everything, when I was trying out things, the good thing is my husband supported me. That's why I could do it, and I did it many years ago, 11 years ago.
mm,
But yeah, I can completely appreciate that, because it's so hard. I mean, sending her somewhere for a birthday party, she couldn't eat one thing, and I remember making so yeah, so it's really hard, and sometimes it feels that you're the only one who's doing this,
mm,
and that's often why people, even when they know what needs to be done, they don't end up doing it because they don't
mm.
get the support. So I get that, but I know that later on your family came around, and that did help you, right? I mean, over time, when they saw
Yeah,
the results. So
yeah.
how did things change for you? I mean, how did things change with time? Uh, did you feel your family then, start to support you? So what was the progression that you can look back?
Yeah, so eventually, when they started seeing the differences, so they started supporting, like whatever food I used to say, my mom used to make it. So yeah, eventually they started seeing the differences.
Yeah, and that made it easier.
That made
So
it easy.
that made it easier. And of course, because we work together and it's a partnership always. And again, now that you're a coach, you know the value of that partnership with the client. So that would have also helped to,
Yeah, of course. You whenever when I joined your program, so after that, of course, the things within 3 months I could see the major differences.
yeah, yeah,
So
because
that coaching helped me that much that I thought of becoming a health coach.
yeah, so tell me something about that. So how has, I know you've sort of recently started on that. You got your certification from the Functional Medicine
Mm.
Coaching Academy. So if a bit of it, if you want to share now, I would love to hear.
Yeah, so I did become a health coach 4 years back, but since I got married and had a child, so I was not able to balance the work and all of the this motherhood thing. So now I have started, I've got some time, so I've started my work of health coaching, and it's called Worth It Health Coaching, because that time I realized that I'm worth it of everything. So I thought of giving it a name, Worth It Health Coaching, so that everyone knows that you are worth it.
Oh, I love it. I didn't know this. There's a reason why you have chosen this name. Absolutely. And I think, Palak, what you have said is so true. A lot of women don't realize that they're worth
Mm,
the time and the effort they need to put in themselves, because as women, we put everyone else first. As I say jokingly on our to-do list, everyone is above us, including the dog also sometimes. And then we are
mm,
sort of last on the list, right? So that is,
correct.
that's how a lot of conditioning works for women. So I love the idea about worth it health
Yeah,
coaching.
it's that also, and one thing which I realized during my journey, so that sometimes whatever we think that we are, it's not actually what we are. It's what people have told you that you are this. So you're much more than that.
You're much.
So when we realize that, yeah, we are more than that, then you realize that we are worth of getting everything.
Yes, yes. I love that you are sharing that. And I think in a way it sets us free. It
Yeah.
sets us free from further others' expectations.
Mm.
And then we are finally free to do what we had always wanted to do,
Mm.
isn't it? And
Right.
sort of, I think it has been your journey as well. And I wish you all the best for your coaching journey as a coach now, because you've lived
Thank you. Mm.
that journey yourself. But you know if again, if we go back, what gave you the confidence to say yes to when you started on your on your own healing journey, when you had so many maybe challenges or obstacles before that? Because that's the problem with chronic conditions, like people will have challenges coming up. So what gave you the confidence to say yes?
So I thought a lot before starting the program. So I think it took when I called you after that, after 3, 4 months, I joined the program. So So I didn't know you personally. Someone gave me a reference, but what just like stuck with me was that you were a mother who helped her daughter heal. So that just gave me a confidence that you are the one. So I have to work with you.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so that's I think that's something that I hear. I recently had a call with someone. I mean, a prospective client. So now I do these 20-minute calls.
Mm,
And yeah, so I asked her, I think a similar question as to sort of what made you. I've just met her once, and
mm,
she said the way you helped your daughter. So I think what I'm trying to say is that even with your own lived experience of being through
mm,
this, that is going to help so many other people. Like my own lived experience of dealing with my daughter's health challenges and going through it. It's one thing, it's to read about it as to how chronic conditions can be so challenging, and we face these ups and downs, and one is to actually deal with it day in and day out, isn't it?
mm,
Anything
mm.
that you want to add to that? Because I know that you've been through these ups and downs in your own life before.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's difficult. It's not easy. It was difficult, like doing everything myself, finding you and uh, coming to the coaching every time, and because there was less emotional. I mean, support was there, but like I said, no one believed in me. So yeah, it was difficult. But I don't know somehow. I knew that at that time I used to feel like I'm in a dark tunnel, but I used to see one light of out of that tunnel. So I know I will reach there. So you helped me move out of that tunnel, and I just came out of the tunnel, and I could feel that light, which I was seeing. I could feel that light.
It's interesting that you say that because this is how I had felt when, many years ago with my own daughter's health issues. Like there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and I somehow
Mm,
had to reach there. It took me 2 years in her case because I didn't have a coach to support me at that time, which is why actually I became a coach in the process so that people don't have to spend. But you're absolutely right. It's that light at the dark, at the end of the tunnel, no matter how helpless we feel, no matter how power,
mm,
because that's a problem with these conditions, right? I mean, we are used to going to the doctor and taking a pill and getting better. That's the mindset. So all of us had to shift that and say that we need to take responsibility, but then that
yeah,
takes time. The whole thing, transference of ownership, takes time. The mindset shifts takes time, and I think that's where coaching plays a role. And now as a coach you are able to give that gift to other people. I'm so glad that that you are here, and this is why I wanted you on this on this show, not only as my client, of course, and to have a conversation, but also as a coach, because you can now share this with so many others who need that gift from you, right? And that's
yeah.
how I look at it. So
It's
what
a
about
gift.
anything you want to share?
Yeah, it's a gift actually. Now I
It
know it's a gift.
Now I know. But that's the thing, right? When we grow through challenges, any challenges,
Mm,
it we can look at it as something that happened to us, or we can look at it as something that happened for us. And when we
mm,
say that it's for us, then it's a gift. Then now we can share with the rest of the world, right?
right,
So
right.
that's amazing. And so, what are some of the things that you've been able to do that once felt out of reach? I mean, marriage, motherhood. I mean, anything that are even becoming a coach. Anything that you would like to sort of expand on?
Yeah, so yeah, actually that time it felt out of reach. So now, yeah, now I'm happily married. My husband is unconditionally loving and supporting, so he supports me for everything. And I have a son who is 2.5, like you mentioned. So, and yes, I've started a health coaching business also. So yeah, so these
So
things, like I used to think whether I will be able to do it or not, but now, yeah, I'm surprised by myself only that how far I have come.
yeah, yeah. So I think often we see the potential in other people, but we don't often see the
Mm,
potential in ourselves, which is why you said worth it health coaching came out of that. The potential that we don't get to see, and sometimes somebody else needs to reflect it, that
mm,
you have this potential. We all do, by the way. We all have that potential, right? I mean, whether it's you, whether it's me, anyone else, we all have that. But sometimes we need someone in our corner to reflect that back to us, to encourage, to guide. And so So that's how it works. I mean, it's the same for me, it's the same for you, and I'm sure anyone else who's tuning in, they can also benefit from a kind of support like that. So this is amazing because, as you said, you surprised yourself. I have surprised myself from where I have come, right?
Yeah.
So many things are possible. Um, if we fine tune back to where things started to shift for you in terms of your health issue, was there a moment that you realized that you could trust your body again? Because a lot of times as women, when we're going through these challenges, we tend to lose trust in our bodies. Was there a moment or anything that shifted for you?
Actually, as far as I remember, there was never I didn't trust the body. Didn't I always trusted, like when I the health issue started coming, so instantly maybe in just 1 or 2 months, I started searching for the answers. So when I knew that this conventional medicines, Ayurveda, and all was not working for me, so I started looking for the answers. So I knew that I'll be able to do it. It was just I was waiting for the right time and the right person, so who will help me. So yeah, I think I always trusted my body.
Okay, that's amazing because a lot of people do lose faith
Mhm.
or trust. So that would have helped you, right, from the beginning
Yeah.
itself,
Mm.
to stay on track with whatever we were discussing. Because
Yeah.
if you trust, I remember some of the things that we did, like a gratitude journal. You remember
Ah,
that we started with a
yeah.
gratitude. I
Gratitude
think that
journal.
helped you to anything else you remember that, because it's been a while, I know, but I remember this one, gratitude journal, and I remember that I think you were doing yoga as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yoga, gratitude journal, walk. So I was doing a lot of things together. So like diet changes, having green juices, some herbal teas, uh, sleeping on time, waking up on time every single day, whether it's Saturday or Sunday also. So it would be same time every day. Reading, like I used to do phone, but not that much. But uh, while sleeping, before sleeping, so I left phone and I used to read a book. So those all these things, like I don't know, but I think while coaching, you might have told me, or like we have gone through that. So that became a habit. All these things became a habit. So yeah, all this also helped me to like heal and change all the things which were not good.
So, so that's the beauty about this kind of a
Uh,
process, like this kind of a work that we did together, that it's
mm,
not, of course, there are major changes that we did in terms of diet, etc., gluten, but it's also the smaller shifts.
Moral shifts, right?
It's like how you said, I got off the phone before bedtime. It's a small shift, it's a small thing, but they add up and they build momentum. I call it the virtuous cycle, the opposite of vicious cycle, right? And
Mm,
it's amazing how these small shifts can build up over time. It doesn't happen in one day, but as you said, it changes our habits. That's the beauty of this. It stays with you. Like even after we've stopped working together, and it's the same with all my clients. A lot of these habits stay. It's not like you'll go back to everything that you were doing before. A lot of the habits stay, whether it's a morning routine. I recently had a client who worked with me for 3 months, and without we did very basic foundational things like diet, etc. But when I asked her what was your biggest what is the thing that helped you the most, because she had a severe autoimmune condition, and so we did a bit of diet because it was a short time frame. She said her morning routine, because
mm,
she is the mother of a newborn child, and she already has one child. She was on a break, maternity break at that time. She was facing some skin issues, and that was her biggest thing, that morning routine. I typically, what we would think, that when I'm working with my clients, okay, the diet must be the big one, this supplement or that, but it's often the small things. So she said my
yeah.
morning routine has helped me get my some sense of calm in the mornings before I even start my day. It's amazing. So the small shifts, I love what you shared. So now that we've talked about some of these things that you did, what inner shifts made the biggest difference? Like what was happening inside you at the same time?
Mm. So there were a lot of transformations. but few like which I remember. So when s- like in a moment it used to happen. So whenever I was walking or working or just doing something, so sometimes just something used to struck and this change used to happen. So one is like when I realized that change starts from within. So that was the time when I like took my first step or first baby step, you can say. Like I started searching for the answers. So I thought like what would happen? People will come and they will say, oh, okay, this happened to you, and they'll go, what would happen? It would happen to me. So I am the person who has to do everything. So I'm the person who has to do the change so that if anyone needs it, so they can see me and they can do the changes. So it's me who has to start.
So it's you who has to be in charge, in other words,
Yeah, yeah,
right? You can't give away that power to someone else.
to
You
someone
have
else.
to have that power to make those changes. And you're
Mm,
right, it has to come from inside, not it cannot
yes,
come from the outside. Nobody can
no.
force you to do this. I mean, and again, as a coach, I think you understand that now, as a part of your training, that we are not forcing, you're not going to be forcing anyone to do it. Doesn't work, right? Forcing somebody to or threatening somebody with some
Mm,
dire consequences, that never works, right? I mean, fear is not a good motivator, is what I was coming to. And as you rightly said, that it had to be from inside you. It was only when you had decided to, search for answers, that finally you got them. I guess it took time, but
yes. So one thing during the conversation, I just remembered while coaching, used to do some guided meditations. So one of that was that like there was one stone and lying in the lake. So whatever seasons and storm, anything would come, but that stone would be there. So it won't go up and down or left or right, anything. So I think that was also one of the thing when uh, which helped that whatever would happen, if you'll be there and if whatever you want to achieve and you'll be there, so you'll do it. I mean, whatever comes, if you are confident and
present,
so you yeah present, so you'll be able to do it.
you'll be able to do it. So, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, it's one of my favorite meditations as well, because it is a reminder, as you said, that we can stay grounded and present
Mhm.
no matter what's happening at the surface, and there will always things that be happening. So it's not, the question is not whether we can, do away with all our problems and all our challenges, right? That's not going to happen because this is life. But if we
Yeah.
can figure out a way, as you said, to stay grounded and present, and that pebble in the lake meditation is a beautiful one. So thank you, as I said, for reminding me. But yeah, so that just, you can connect with your inner strength, and that's what gave you, I think, the confidence, right, to know that
Mm.
you will succeed. So for someone, now the flip side of it, for someone who feels stuck and uncertain and definitely not confident, what would you tell them about taking the first step and finding hope?
So yeah, I think it's okay to validate the feelings that yeah, you're stuck. Whatever you're feeling right now, it's okay. I mean, there is no point of saying that like people would say, don't cry or don't be angry, don't do this, don't do that. It's okay. I mean, the emotions would come. First, yeah, first validating those feelings, I think it's okay. And then maybe you have to take that baby step because just sitting and thinking that things are going to get better or I'll start, like some people say that I'll start next month, I'll start next week, or I'll start when the right things would come. It would only come when you'll take that baby step or you'll take that leap. Because I myself did that. I waited for 3 4 months, and when I joined the program, so then I realized why didn't I do it earlier? And still when I'm like I've started my health coaching business, so now I'm realizing why didn't I do it earlier? It's been 4 years I've completed the health coaching course, and maybe I did something small, small, but why didn't I start it then? So you have to take that leap. And this is not the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the end. You have to believe in yourself. No one can tell better than your own instincts. So you have to believe in you. Like I said, that people would say, they would fed in your subconscious mind that you are this and you are that. So you're much more than that. And yeah, so by taking those steps only, you'll be able to reach the end goal and fulfill your dreams. So
Okay.
because this interview is also a dream for me. I used to dream that I'll be giving the interview. So if I would not have taken those steps and taken that leap, so I would not have come here. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. It's a lovely thing to, I really appreciate what you said. And I am honored to have you here today. It's always a pleasure to talk to people I've worked with, and see. And I think my biggest reward is to see that transformation. Like,
Yeah.
literally that takes place. That's an amazing thing to know that I've made some difference. And going back to what you said, I think it's so true that validating and acknowledging is where you start. You can't be in denial and then, like a
Mm,
lot of people are in denial. I mean, that I have this problem, or, it's so bad, or that I'm scared. But because by being in denial, you remain stuck. So you're right. It's only by validating how we are feeling and acknowledging our fear. It is it's scary, right? I mean, anything that we are going through, if the future is uncertain, if there are any health issues, or even financial issues and other things, I mean, it's all
mm,
scary. But that should never be a reason to, not take any action, as you said. And it can be a baby step, like you did, like I did. I had taken baby steps. I had no clue what I was doing 11 years ago in 2014. After Diwali, I still remember, I had my daughter had severe eczema, so I had no idea what I was doing. I only knew food will help her. So I said, okay, it can't be this bad. So then I found a book called the Eczema Diet, and then I started whatever that book said. And I think, I can't remember now, it's been a while, but at least for a month, I took us off. I mean, I followed the same diet with my daughter. She was only 8 at that time. I remember taking her off all masalas, all spices, because it said that spices can be a problem. I had no idea. I had no training at that time. So I remember that we used to only have garlic and salt. Okay. That's how I started. And it was fish with garlic and salt. It was this with garlic, and everything was with garlic and salt. I had no idea how I did it. Like you said, like sometimes you just go through with it because I mean, one is I was desperate as a mother, but then I knew that it was going to help her in some way. I just didn't know how, right? But it was only because I took those steps, even though I was not 100% sure as to how it would all add up. And finally, and then, but once I started taking those steps, I started with that. Then I realized, okay, this is not going to work. Then I started making the next step, then the next step, then the next step. Eventually, I found functional medicine. Then I found a practitioner. But if I had not taken that first step, like you're
mm,
saying, right, taking that step is so important, and it can be a small step. So, but if that first step is so important, and then you keep taking one step after another. I think somebody said that, I can't remember who said it, but that, even if you can't see the entire, staircase, if you can see a few stairs ahead of you, you can just start taking one step at a time, and then it becomes slowly clearer and clearer as to what path we should be taking. And I think it's been true for you. It's been definitely true for me. So, yeah, so yes, validating, and then of course taking the step and not pushing it off. But
mm,
coming back to your coaching, I think we do tend to do that in some areas of our lives. I mean, I have pushed off many things, other things, that I'll do it, and then I also find it that why didn't I do it earlier, right? So that's I think a normal human thing to do. So tell me, if there's, as we come to the end of this amazing conversation, I loved having you here, sharing your insights, your experience. It's going to help so many other women and others facing chronic health issues and challenges to just know what's possible. Is there anything that you would like to share that I have not asked you?
So, just adding on to this conversation, like what we were talking earlier. So, I just remember that, oh, during the journey, so even after taking the right step, so I knew that I was on the right path, but still sometimes I used to feel that whether I have taken a right step or not, whether I'll reach there or not. So is it right, or what others are saying, is that right, or I'm wrong? So all these questions used to come. So but then I would used to think that I used to look back that from where I've come where, so and then of course I'll reach to the end. So yeah, so one thing you have to look back also from where you have come, and then that gives a confidence that you can go ahead.
I think that's such an important point. Good you mentioned that because I tend to do that also. Sometimes we don't see the wins that we have had in the past,
Mm,
right? We don't see the progress that we have made. We
mm,
only looking ahead to see how much we have to still go. But you're right.
yeah.
We don't take a moment to look back and acknowledge how far we had come. We have come already.
Mm,
We can lose motivation to keep going,
yeah.
right? Because it seems that what's ahead of us is so much more, but we don't realize how much steps we've already taken. So I think that's such an important point, that anybody who's listening to this, that no matter what challenges you have faced earlier in life, that you have managed to overcome, right? So then this is another thing that you will find a way to overcome. Anything else you would like to share before we end the conversation? Also, I would love for you to share your Instagram handle, your website, or any other resources so that people can find you easily.
Yes, so I'm running a Worth It health coaching business. So just started, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook with the same name, Worth It Health Coaching. Yep. So,
Okay. Thank you, Palak. I'll make sure that I share those links in the show notes
yeah.
below so that becomes easier for people to find
Mhm.
you. Thank you so much again for such a delightful conversation. I loved having you here. Yeah, thank you for joining me.
Just one thing I also remembered through all this thing. So I also got the purpose of my life and a reason for getting up each day, and reason of for getting up excited each day. Everyone gets it, but being excited each day that I'll do this thing, that like today I have to give an interview. So that was also exciting. So all of this thing gave me a purpose and a reason. So whenever I feel low, so I remember that what is the purpose of my life, making, like you said, that making differences to everyone's life. So that gave me a purpose.
I think that's a beautiful place to end this conversation. You're absolutely right. It's something that gets us out of bed in the morning. Both of us are actually quite fortunate in that sense. I don't think you get Sunday evening blues. I look forward to Monday mornings, like unlike many
Yeah,
people. So
yeah.
I think they're both very fortunate. Thank you once again, Palak, for being here
Thank
today.
you, Nita. Thank you so much.